Hi guys, it's Andrew at FloryPB. I'm right in the middle of tearing down. Actually, gotta tear this down more. Regardless, I'm right in the middle of tearing down the Impact LCD in order to film the video. But the reason I'm doing this, I want to put it together, is for the new products that I'm launching or about to launch. First one's simple. If you've seen the laser cut video, it's just going to be three. There's three or four. Yep, three. LCD solenoid gaskets. If anyone actually needs that, I don't know if you will, but I just want to offer it for sale in case some guy needs a bunch of them. So, but the real thing I want to start offering is my O-ring kit. I want to do an O-ring kit that's going to be a comprehensive O-ring kit that's going to have a lot of cool things in it, a lot of stuff I like doing that differentiate it from a standard O-ring set. And you'll see it's going to come with a standard gasket, or the LCD gasket. It's going to come with 2 layers of like 3D printed pucks with all of the stuff kind of detailed out. You have your valve, you have your flash tank, you have your LPR, and you have your mini reg stuff on the top. Down the bottom, extra tank rigs, front plug rings, your 1x8 breech seals, and technically it's also the seal for your ball detent, and then your ram. So all of your ram seals, including the front wiper, the front U-cup seal, which is a very tricky O-ring to find. There's more to these. Most of these O-rings are, they're either, let me zoom in. So I like to utilize 2 types of O-rings a lot. I like to utilize quad ring 70 durometer O-rings. We'll take a step back there. 70 durometer Buna O-rings, so your black 70 durometer O-ring is your industry standard O-ring for everything. And it's a great O-ring for everything. But it's not the best O-ring for stuff. You have different O-rings like this style, which is the jelly looking ones. These are polyurethane O-rings. They're fairly common in paintball stuff. The problem with polyurethane stuff over time is polyurethane absorbs moisture, and it deteriorates it a little bit. So absorbs moisture, especially in a reg or something like that, absorbs moisture as you're going through that thermal expansion when you're decompressing the air through the regulator. So it builds moisture, eats the moisture, and it dissolves it, so it turns into that gummy, sticky paste garbage after so many years, which I don't like dealing with. So I don't really like poly O-rings for that reason. I do like Buna O-rings. They are very good, but you can expand on that. You can get 50 durometer Buna, 70 durometer Buna, and 90 durometer Buna, and you can get different shape profiles too that offer different characteristics. So most of my O-rings, when they are dynamic O-rings, so they're O-rings that move and they are easy to get to, I use 70 durometer quad rings, which look like this guy here, which look like this guy, which is a quad ring. This is a better dynamic seal than a traditional O-ring. It reacts a little better, so you get a little less friction with it. So it's a better O-ring to use. When I can't use the 70 durometer quad ring because it's like an internal seal or like an inside seal that's like hard to get to, like for this LPR for example, I use a 50 durometer Buna round O-ring, which is extra soft and also gives you the benefit of the performance and friction like the quad ring does. Doesn't have as long of a lasting characteristic because it's 50 durometer, but it's super soft and super easy to get in there. I also love using 50 durometer for the outside seals on everything because it's just so much nicer. When you try to put this back in the marker past the threads with a 50 durometer ring, it's night and day the difference. And it's a static O-ring, so it's never going to die. So there's no reason to have the harder O-ring on it. I have all the seals here, even the LPR, even the metric O-ring that goes inside, which I'm drawing a blank on this size, but it's like a 1x4 or something like that. That O-ring in there, the metric O-ring. So we have that O-ring. We have the full O-ring set for the ram, all internals. Full O-ring set for everything, utilizing both quad rings and 50 durometer Buna rings. And I have the tank rings too. Whoop. The tank rings are 90 durometer Buna, because if you ever use a non-bleeding on-off with your marker, they shred tank O-rings. So the 90 durometer is the super hard ring. You put that on your tank. I put that on the mini reg top, stuff like that. Stuff that I am it's going to be abusive to it, and they last longer. They just hold up better. So you're going to get all of those in this kit. It's a 1X rebuild kit. Obviously 50 durometer O-rings and quad rings come at a premium versus the traditional bog standard 70 durometer rings. But I have seen enough of a performance advantage that I particularly like using them. It was a long time ago on PB Nation. I did a couple mini reg tests with my oscilloscope just to see the reaction speed of the mini reg, which is garbage. But just by putting quad rings on it, it improved the speed by 7%, like the recharge rate by 7%, which is, I mean, 7%, it's not great. It's still not a great reg, but just to switch your O-rings out, a cheap O-ring switch to gain 7% of performance, that's a good deal, in my opinion. So that kind of sold me on using, or pushing towards this kind of rings, or these kind of cool rings to do stuff. And that's where I'm at with the set. It comes with a 3D printed little separator in the tin, just to try to keep it all labeled and organized. I'm going to make an individual or a video at chapters how to install it on every piece, so you can see how to install it, because quad rings are a little trickier to install than regular O-rings, but they're not bad. You just have to look what you're doing. And yeah, you can, this is a good way, a cheap way to maximize the performance of the parts you have. And that's why I like doing these. And when you see a lot of the old builds that I did, I utilize a lot of quad rings, a lot of 50 durometer O-rings. It's just makes a nicer product at the end of the day. So you'll start seeing some videos trickle out from these when I rebuild this marker. And I just want to get this together, and then I'll get these for sale, hopefully in the coming March into April range. This is Andrew at FloryPB. That's it for this video. It's a little introduction of these. I'll see you guys in the next one.